Welcome to Double Drivel, an NBA podcast.
I'm spending my nights in the flophouse. I'm spending my days on the street. I'm looking for work and I find none. I wish I had something to eat. Soup, soup, they give me a bowl of soup. Soup, soup, they give me a bowl of soup.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Double Drivel. We are a soup-filled weekly podcast offering a fan's perspective on the news and issues surrounding the NBA. Thank you for joining us. My name is Greg, and I'm joined as always by my co-host JT. You can find us on Twitter at Double Dribblers or email us at doubledrivelpodcast@gmail.com. JT, what up, my friend?
Not too much, Greg. I'm doing super.
That is great. And you know what? I think we should just get right into it because this is too good. We got the intro. You found the great music for us here. And what's going on in Cleveland that we're playing the soup song?
I called you in a frenzy yesterday, Greg, when I learned, and the rest of the world learned, that our friend J.R. Smith, who had been suspended for one game for what they were saying was conduct detrimental to the team. This is what they said on Tuesday, but they didn't tell us why. It came out that my man threw a bowl of soup at his assistant coach. A bowl of soup.
That's so great. And not just any assistant coach. I mean, this is a guy that's just a couple years out of the league.
Damon Jones, former NBA player, a man that has been a poster child, and not the good kind of poster child. I'm talking like the guy's been on the poster for one of the sickest LeBron James dunks. Damon Jones on the receiving end of that dunk since 2005. So, yeah, Damon Jones, like a player we're familiar with.
And also one of LeBron's boys and an enforcer in the league for a long time. So I don't understand how he goes from that kind of role to a coach. But, maybe he's a good locker room guy. Apparently not, but, that could just be a J.R. Smith thing.
So let's back it up on J.R. Smith a little bit. And this, not a guy, and we love this guy, but not a guy who hasn't kept his nose clean through the years, I should say. So some of the past controversies include he served 24 days in a Monmouth County jail. That's in New Jersey for vehicular manslaughter. That's in 2017. He was suspended 7 games by the league in 2009. And at the same time, he closed his Twitter account, Greg, because he was accused of writing in the style of the Bloods Gang. The Bloods Gang. Replacing all the letter C's with the letter K's.
Is that a thing?
That's the thing they do, I guess. I mean, when I was in the Bloods, we didn't do that, but maybe they do that now. I'm not sure.
Wow, they've really upped the game. There's like they have like a book with formatting and everything. Like, what is that? The
alternate alphabet?
The Oxford. Yeah, they got the Oxford style guide, except they got the Blood and the Crip style guide. That's unbelievable.
So to continue painting the picture on JR, in 2011, he was sued by the illustrious Zhejiang Shouziao Bank Golden Bulls. That's a professional basketball team in China. He sued that team for $1 million, saying that they owed him $1 million. The Shouziao Bank Golden Bulls, they say JR faked an injury and didn't show up to practice. So we've got international trouble added to this mix.
And he also never had a shirt on one time when he did attend practice.
And the image that is one of my favorites of JR is him shirtless in the victory parade 2 years ago in Cleveland. Just a classic imagery of J.R. Smith. Let's get to the soup. So no one knows anything, pretty much. There was people saying that it was definitely broccoli cheddar. There was people saying that it was bone broth. No one knows. No one knows. No one's saying. But we will speculate because that is something that we do better than most.
That's what I try.
Greg, the burning question. I'm sorry, the puns. I can think. What kind of soup was it? Now, I think the way to go about this is to eliminate soups that it most likely was not and go backwards. Okay? So it's winter and we're in Cleveland. It's cold there. Not going to be a nice, light, refreshing soup. It's not going to be gazpacho. No. It's not going to be like a pureed, fruity soup that we see like in the summertime. No way. No way. Do you agree?
At the very least, it's a bisque. I'm going bisque.
A bisque. You know, a traditional bisque has to have seafood in it, Greg. Do you think it is a seafood soup J.R. Smith was enjoying?
Could be. I mean, that's the kind of thing I would expect in the locker room because you don't expect it to be too heavy, right? I mean, it's not like this is going to be like a stew or like a really heavy or something salty.
You see the Cleveland Cavaliers going into their locker room for a nice bisque, like a lobster bisque or a crab.
Could be.
Bisque?
Well, because I don't think that they're bringing them garbage. I don't know what the food
stink like fucking fish, Greg.
Even if it's like a bisque, that would happen?
Fuck yeah.
It's just a soup.
It smells like it's got fucking fish in it, Greg.
That's weird. I didn't know that. I don't eat that stuff, so that would be a reason that I would not know that.
All right. Let's paint with broader strokes.
Let's take a step back.
Nothing for you.
Was it likely a brothy soup? Was it a pureed style soup? Perhaps a chowder? Lots of little pieces chopped up. Could have been a seasonal soup. You know, nice roasted butternut. Roasted butternut squash this time of year. Very popular. Could it have been? I guess. Could it have been an international style soup? Perhaps a pozole or a risi-bisi?
So what's the temperature on all these soups? That's what I wonder. If you're throwing this soup at somebody, what are they wanting it to get served at when they take it out of whatever serving thing it's in and they put it in their bowl? What temperature are we talking?
Well, if you're keeping it in one of them soup kettles, which I can see this being in,
yep,
it has to be above 140 degrees.
Uh-oh.
Below that is the danger zone. You can't have food hanging out in that danger zone. So above 140, when it comes out of the crock, is where it's going to be. But as soon as you put it in the bowl, it's going to cool down.
Yep.
As soon as it becomes airborne, it's going to cool down faster.
So do you think it would have been more than one game if he had hit him? I'm going to assume that he did not hit him with the bowl of soup. Because if he had hit him, I would think more than one game would probably have been warranted.
Yeah, if there was burn damage, I think we would be talking criminal prosecution of some kind, without a doubt. Without a fucking doubt.
All right, so we've established
if you throw
please.
a fucking bowl of 140-degree New England clam chowder with the potatoes and the bacon and the fucking chopped up clams in there, and you hit your assistant coach in the face with that, that's second-degree burn. You're fucked. That's jail time.
So the speculation would lead me to believe with this, whole thing that we've laid out that yes, he threw it at him, but probably did not hit him. Maybe got some soup on him or maybe somebody else, but I wouldn't think it was a direct hit in any sort of way. And I'm sure, it's all the hold me back stuff after that and then, separated and then the suspension comes after that. But a lot of fun in the locker room these days in Cleveland.
The thing about soup, Greg, is very rarely do you see someone just sitting down and eating a bowl of soup. There's usually a supporting cast, maybe bread, maybe croutons, oyster crackers, maybe a little cracked black pepper on top. You don't fucking know. It wasn't just the soup. There were other things in there too. I want to know. I want to know what the garnish was. I want to know who made this soup. What date was the soup made? Did it have a nice maturation process? Did it marry well? Did it have a nice nose?
I tried to find out who is the craft food vendor for the Cleveland Cavaliers, and it looks like it's by someone who used to be on the American Iron Chef, and it's Michael Symon. And you would remember him if you saw him. He was the bald guy with the little tickler thing on his chin there. And yeah. So he has a restaurant and a chain of restaurants, and one of them is in the Cleveland Stadium. And like I said, from what I could gather looking around online, they also do the craft food service. But I did not see any soup on their menu, which would have helped me to determine possibly what it was. But, so I'm sure they're going off the menu for the craft food service.
Possibly we could be looking at a third-party independent contractor who provided the soup.
Yeah, look at that.
One might think that
the plot thickens.
One of the more popular soup spots in Cleveland could be that contractor. Would you agree?
Could be. Could not be, though. They could just be a random item on their menu, too. You never know.
Your boy JT got on the horn yesterday, and he called Suzies Spectacular Soups in Cleveland, Ohio. And
yeah, boy.
I asked them, the person I talked to is probably 15, 16 years old, if they had any opinion as to which soup J.R. Smith threw at his coach. And I have a quote from the employee here who asked to remain anonymous, Greg.
That's so awesome. And they said,
"I don't know what you're talking about."
That's the kind of hard-hitting shit that you're getting, making phone calls like that out of the blue. Some random 15-year-old that answers the phone.
Suzies in Cleveland going on record with a no comment.
Is that a non-denial denial?
That's shady shit, if you ask me, Greg.
There you go. Nobody wants to be associated with the soup being thrown.
Yeah, I mean, no one wants to rat out JR either, especially in his hometown. But we've got a lead, and we're going to stick to it. We don't quit, we don't sleep, and we're going to get the answers to these questions.
I just can't explain to everyone how excited you were when this story broke, and you messaged me yesterday, and it was like, you were like I haven't remembered in a long time. Just so excited.
I called you in the middle of a full-on nor'easter, and you're like, "I don't have power." I was like, "Get a fucking generator. We got to get this going. We
got to do this. There's soup flying in Cleveland.
Story of a lifetime." But on the Suzies Spectacular Soups menu of popular soups, Greg, they list carrot ginger, hot Italian sausage chili. That could be a strong candidate. They have the broccoli.
Very Cleveland sounding.
They have the broccoli cheddar, which early reports are saying it was not, which makes me think it very well might be. In addition,
that would be one of my guesses. I mean, I would have definitely guessed like a broccoli cheddar. That's an easy.
The lobster bisque.
Easy locker room. See, I did say lobster. I did say bisque.
They have the lobster bisque. They'd have it.
Yeah.
But they also have, Greg, the white turkey chili.
Ooh, something I love. How about you?
How disrespectful would it be to get hit in the fucking face with a bowl of white turkey chili?
I don't get the sense it was chili. I don't think that it was chili. That's really funny.
You can show up in the stadium knowing that you stood there with turkey chili all over your shit.
Yeah, that's definitely thicker, though. If you're hitting somebody with that, then, that's not like a soup. That's definitely a little thicker.
Mm-hmm.
You're feeling that. If you get hit with a bowl full of that, that's coming at you like a softball.
Oof. Yeah, the burn, and we'll just stick with this for one more minute, and the potential burn damage, it varies greatly as with the density of the soup. Okay, so like, I'll take a chicken noodle to the face every day of the week before I want the turkey chili, because it's going to get that napalm sticky thing going on. And that's just terrible. You don't want that.
Oh, wow. Oh, my God. That's terrible.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, well, there you go. So, trouble in the land, as they say. So, hope everything clears up there. And whoever has to clean that locker room, that poor bastard. That he was so mad. He came in. They're like, come on, man. Clean this up.
So in your mind, it took place in the locker room. In my mind, it kind of took place courtside.
Courtside? There's no food courtside. Nobody's sitting down for a meal courtside.
Yeah, but like in my mind, they're practicing, and then they like disband. They go to the locker room, and they're like kind of packing up. They're leaving to go home. JR forgets something, but he has his bowl of soup that he's finishing as he like goes and collects his things. And
this is an extremely unlikely scenario.
And Damon Jones is also out there. The two of them exchange words, and then it's on. It's fucking on.
Damon Jones like, I need to lock this door, man. I told you need to get out of here. Take your soup and go, asshole. No,
all right,
just unbelievable. So, chillax in Cleveland.
That may we say that was a scoop du jour?
Was great. We can move on to our next story, which is a story that I thought that something was supposed to happen over All-Star Weekend. You're a simple man with simple jokes. The players and the referees are supposed to sit down and have a little meeting to calm tensions. And like I said, I thought that was supposed to happen over All-Star Weekend. Was that your understanding too?
Yeah, and like when you're going to have a good meeting, you get good people involved. You know, you get the players, the people that matter.
Then that was the part I think where All-Star Weekend probably came in because everyone was together, everyone was there, easy to get
heavy
the referees
hitters
there. You know, you got all the heavy hitters, exactly. And a lot of the troublemakers, you know. Draymond, a lot of technicals this year. Durant, a lot of technicals this year. So get everybody there, get everybody talking, get it all aired out. But is that how it ended up going, JT?
I think the attendance was not what they were expecting for this meeting. And, you know, they wanted to get together because it seems like the officiating's been especially shitty this year. Let's talk it out. Let's get the big boys together and talk it out. Greg, 2 fucking players showed up to this meeting. 2 players. You might say to yourself, well, you know, probably LeBron and Steph, right? You know, they were the captains of the All-Star
manning
team.
up.
Spencer Dinwiddie and Andre Iguodala.
He was so excited to win the skills competition, he would have showed up for anything. Anything. It didn't matter. And Iguodala thought it was an interview opportunity because he was hosting stuff all weekend and being terrible on TV. So he would have gone anywhere that they told him to. Wherever that guy that kept tapping him on the shoulder was telling him to do, he would have went there. So that's how he ended up there. So that's a poor showing, I think, is obvious to say.
And oh man, how do you put this? Like, for those that might not be too in tune with the NBA roster, I mean, I don't know why you would be listening to this show, but Spencer Dinwiddie and Andre Iguodala are role players. They are decent basketball players. You would not expect them to be selected out of the 300 plus players in the league to represent the collective interests of all of the players. Why? I mean,
Iggy, locker room presence.
Chris Paul's the president of the Players Association. Why the fuck wasn't he there? Like,
because
actually
nobody wants to make this better.
Actually represents other players' interests, or at least he's supposed to. I bet you some of the players in the league don't even know who the fuck Spencer Dinwiddie is, or what team he plays for.
No. But they also didn't say that anything came out of this meeting. I mean, I don't think that when just those 2 showed up, they were like, all right, these are the representatives. Let's get down to talking. So,
if those two showed up to your meeting, Greg, are you going to fucking square stuff away with them? If those 2 showed up to a meeting I was like trying to get stuff sorted out in, I'd be like, yeah, no, let's do this again with someone I recognize.
I thought NBA players were coming, not a winner of a skills competition and some old guy.
No disrespect to Spencer Dinwiddie and Andre Iguodala, but a very random ass selection of players to attend.
Absolutely. And speaking of Mr. Dinwiddie, I am going to the Nets Hornets game in Brooklyn in a couple weeks, and I cannot wait to just yell at Mr. Dinwiddie at any opportunity from my seats. So I'm very excited to just mock him and just get in any sort of little altercation I can with any little Nets fans that happen to be in my area, which is going to be a lot. Last time I went to a game, there were very, very few Hornets fans at the game, and, stuck out like a sore thumb. I know you know the feeling. So looking to have some fun with Mr. Dinwiddie once I'm down there.
Yeah, you got to make a nice sign. Maybe I'll do a Jake Shuttlesworth sign, Greg.
Nice. There you go. We're doing it. Making the sign. Bringing it.
I like it.
That's good stuff. All right. Did you see two of the nastiest plays that have happened in a long time this past week?
I think you're talking about the Harden crossover and the LeBron James nutmeg, and I saw them both.
Good. So we'll take the time. We'll start with Harden since it came first, and it was big news at the time. That was just, he's always crossing people up, and people fall down. Everybody has these videos on YouTube of this. This happens fairly often. But since it was him, and since it was just that extra level of disrespect that he gave the guy by just staring him down on the ground, it was just, I think, newsworthy. Again, because it's Harden, probably more than anything. But this is not something that doesn't happen often. Guys are always falling down and getting crossed over. So not that impressed with that, except for the fact that he did hit the shot too, which always makes it nice. What was your feelings on that one?
He pushed off.
He always pushed off. That's not even news. James Harden might as well have a spring on his hand. That's all the guy does.
If you push off, they should call a foul. They should call a foul if you pushed off since 1998. When he
also does that scumbag thing where he just if you have your arm out covering him, he just acts like he's taking a shot and just bangs his arms up into your arm, and he gets a foul call every time. It's just gross.
He's a big guard. He can cover a lot of space. He has a ridiculous handle. He does that thing that you said, which is fucking infuriating, where he draws a foul out of a no shot every time. And I think that kind of puts the defender on skates a little bit more than normal. They don't know if they have to quickly get out of the way of this flailing shot that he may throw up, and they're going to get called for a 3-point foul, or they don't know if he's going to put the sauce on him and just go. So you get put in a lose-lose situation with this guy, and he's having an MVP season.
Yep.
The crossover in question put Wesley Johnson on the ground, but I don't die when this type of thing happens. I don't lose my mind. I know it is the ultimate feather in your cap to put your defender on the ground, but as the players keep getting better and better, stronger and faster, the moves get more complex. What the hell are you going to do? It's almost like your options are to defend and just take whatever happens, which might be a fall. Worse things have happened. Or you just let them go by. And that would be a real shame if guys just start not defending because they're afraid of being on a Sports Center highlight. So, yeah, James Harden is a ridiculous dribbler, and he's a very good shooter. You're going to get fucked one way or the other.
Absolutely. So I don't know. So, I share the same opinion as you, that it's not that impressive. It happens to other people. It just doesn't make news. Something that doesn't really ever happen is LeBron's move. Now, he said it wasn't intentional. He said it just ended up happening. But that guy is amazing. That guy is 6'9". And what is he, 240 or some shit? He is a giant of a man. handling the ball and moving at that speed is absolutely incredible. The vision and the everything that guy has at that size, it's unbelievable. It's crazy. And I think that his move, although, didn't have the flash maybe like Harden's did, it did. I mean, it was just it's incredible when you really think about it.
Yeah. So that move was LeBron was left side elbow about driving. He was surrounded by, he had a teammate of his on his right side and then kind of two defenders almost in a double team position, and he splits them. He goes behind his back with his offhand, which is his left hand, and he goes through the legs of his teammate, through the backside of his teammate's legs with a bounce, catches it, goes to the rim, contact, finishes, and one. Incredible play. I'm glad he said it wasn't intentional, because there's no way it was intentional to go through his teammate's legs. He of course, he intended to go behind his back. His teammate was just positioned perfectly right through the legs. I like LeBron's play a little bit more, just because there was no foul on his part. There's no shady business. That's clean, just by chance happened to go through the legs. But when you're the best fucking basketball player in the world and you put yourself in positions like that, is it really unintentional? Or is there, or maybe there's just something there, like that, like there's a space there. You don't know exactly what to do with it, but muscle memory, the body just reacts. So I like LeBron's play better. It's cleaner. And we've never seen that before, at least that I can remember.
All right, we got breaking news right here. LeBron James is a good basketball player. So, it's good. All right, JT, I can't believe it's time already, but it's time for predictions. All right. What do you got for predictions this week?
Sticking with the theme, I want it on record. I want you to pick one soup, Greg. One soup. We know it's going to come out. It will come out. I predict when the season's over, Soupgate will, expose itself to the public. What soup was thrown at Damon Jones?
I'm going with the lobster bisque.
Lobster fucking bisque, Greg. You dog.
I am. I'm sticking with it.
Even
because maybe the foul scent in the air made for the foul attitude in the locker room. It sets a mood. Nobody likes it. Oh, no, not this shit again. That smell. Oh, God. Oh, and they made salmon too. Oh, hell. And you just get that general attitude going, and maybe everybody, they lost the game. Everybody's pissed off. Shenanigans ensue.
Some people are allergic to lobster, Greg. You think they have a potential life-threatening soup right there in the locker room?
There's only so many guys. I mean, seriously. I mean, you can find out if somebody has an allergy or something. I don't have any allergies. I know I don't eat half the shit when I look at it. So, you kind of got to look out. That's my guess. Especially since you gave that list and I had guessed a bisque anyway. That's what I'm going with. Mm-hmm. Sticking with it.
Okay, I mean, this is not an easy one for me. I'm going to reach a little bit, Greg. I'm going to go with a Tuscan white bean soup.
Oh, my God, overthinking it.
Little white beans, maybe some chopped up kale, small diced vegetables. It's brothy, but it's rich and hearty, okay? I was torn between this and a beef stew.
No, I don't think beef stew at all. I think beef stew is too heavy. That was my first thing that I wrote off personally. Couldn't be a beef stew.
Middle of fucking winter, Greg, in Cleveland.
These are giant athletes that don't
Of
eat
course
like
they're
that.
Giants. They need the stew, like the stew.
LeBron's not eating stew.
God damn. What else pairs so nicely with a nice, rich Pinot Noir? He loves those full-bodied reds. And don't tell me that's going to pair poorly with a nice beef stew.
I don't know. I don't think so.
But
Not buying it.
I'm not going stew. I go Tuscan white bean. I'm put my money on the table, and let's go. Let's see what we got. Please, please let this come to light.
We can keep making calls all week. I'm gonna try to get to the bottom myself if it doesn't come out, online or in the press. Can't wait.
All right.
All right. Another great episode there, JT.
Absolutely. I think we covered it all. Soup to nuts.
Oh, God, so good. All right. We will be back next week with another episode. In the meantime, you can follow us on Twitter at Double Dribblers, or you can email us at doubledrivelpodcast@gmail.com. Subscribe to the show on iTunes, Podbean, or Google Play. And until next week, we'll see you on the internet.
I'm spending my nights in the flop house. I'm spending my days on the street. I'm looking for work and I find none. I wish I had something to eat. Soup, soup, they give me a bowl of soup. Soup, soup, they give me a bowl of soup. I spent 20 years in the factory. I did everything I was told. They said I was loyal and faithful. Now even before I get old. Soup, soup, they give me a bowl of soup. Soup, soup, they give me a bowl of soup. I saved $15 with my banker to buy me a car or a yacht. I went down to draw out my fortune, and this is the answer I got. Soup, soup, they give me a bowl of soup. Soup, soup, they give me a bowl of soup. I fought in the war for my country. I went out to bleed and to die. I thought that my country would help me, but this was my country's reply. Soup, soup, they give me a bowl of soup. Soup, soup, they give me a bowl of soup. I went on my knees to my Maker. I prayed every night to the Lord. I vowed I'd be meek and submissive, and now I've received my reward. Soup, soup, they give me a bowl of soup. Soup, soup, they give me a bowl of soup.
That looked too fun. Oh, my phone's all wet.